Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Discover the Energies Within, a lesson in healing with Gloria Shoon, facilitator and empowerment coach. I'm Charissa Sims, live event host for HumanityStream, a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to make conscious living prevalent worldwide by 2040. And I'm coming to you live from Lafayette, Colorado. I also wanted to welcome those streaming live through the HumanityStream Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Stream Plus members that are here in the green room with us. Welcome. And thank you for being on camera. I wanted to do a special shout out to the Sign Network with John and Summer Raymer at sign.network. Because it is a live program, we will have time for comments and questions. So try to get your question in within the first 30 or 40 minutes of the program, wherever you're watching, whether it be the viewing room, Facebook page, YouTube channel, put it in the chat and you may get your question answered by Gloria. Actually, we love questions from the audience on the lives. It just makes the interview so deep and dynamic. And let me share a little more about Gloria. Gloria Shoon is a retired corporate executive from the IT world who used the techniques in her ebook to live a life of balance and well-being. Since she retired approximately 4 years ago, she has dedicated her life to being of service. She currently sits on two boards, HopeSpring Cancer Support Centre and the Graves Community Hospital Volunteer Association. In these organizations, she draws on her business skills to assist in people, process, and technology for improvement in overall operational efficiencies. In addition, Gloria volunteers and facilitates a weekly meditation and has developed and facilitated an encourage and empower program and a well-being book club for survivingbreastcancer.org, an international nonprofit headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome, Gloria.
Well, thank you, Clarissa. This is awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited to speak with you. And would you share a little bit about your background in IT and how you came to this journey of where you are now?
Sure. So I spent my full career, if you want to call it that, in sales and marketing in the IT world. Originally from Trinidad and Tobago, I ran a Xerox distributorship for the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago before emigrating to Canada, here in Ontario, in 1989, when I again joined Xerox and was there for a number of years and has worked with many IT organizations that are global in their presence in sales and marketing, not only managing people and being a direct sales individual, but also delivering on projects. Some of the corporations I've worked for are like FICO, IBM, Bell Canada, to name a few.
Oh, wonderful. And did you have your own health crisis? What has been your own journey of having a health crisis and healing?
Yes, I did. So back in 2020, I was diagnosed with invasive lobular carcinoma, a type of breast cancer, with stage 2B. Some of the tools that are part and parcel of this ebook are really what allowed me to heal and to give back. Because I think in giving that we totally receive. Of course, when you first diagnose, it's a state of overwhelm. So I can't say I was volunteering in 2020 to the extent that I am now. But from 2021, what I initiated and found myself very much driven through meditation was not only offering weekly meditations to survivingbreastcancer.org, that's available for anyone, anywhere. It is normally at Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most of the meditations are recorded and available on survivingbreastcancer.org website. So anyone can access them anytime. And that community has grown tremendously. In addition to that, I later developed what we call an Encourage and Empower program because it's based on Tiny Habits, the book by Dr. Fogg. And Tiny Habits really allows one to just take the time to focus on their own well-being in a way that is loving and kind and compassionate. So Encourage and Empower really is based on three principles. One is, you know, I call them my three A's. One is acknowledge. So you first acknowledge that I'm challenged and dealing with a situation that I've never dealt with before. Second is acceptance. And once I accept that I am challenged, then what action do I take? So research both on the scientific level as well as, a total holistic set of modalities of healing, I think, what allowed me to be the best that I could be in any moment.
That's beautiful. And what was your own experience when you had this diagnosis, and what was the protocol and the things that you learned along the way?
Oh, there's so many. So, you know, the news, I could still remember just being told this is what the biopsy results were. And literally, all I could say is I was in a state of overwhelm, anxiety, fear, stress, all those energies that pretty much allowed me to just cry.
Mm.
And so once I got over that, then the logical mind takes over. So the next
You were
step was
working at the time?
I was just finishing my career. I think I
Oh.
retired a year early, but I quickly made the decision. Once I got that diagnosis, it was like the universe was saying to me, uh, here's your wake-up call. Stop working. Really look at healing yourself on all levels. And when I say that, not just physical healing, but emotional, mental, spiritual, because I think all those healing modalities are required in order for us to be the best we can be.
Yes.
And so it's like a work in process of becoming the best person that you can every single day.
Mm. Yeah,
And
that's
so one of the tools that I turned to immediately was meditation, because even though I practiced meditation before, I made it a point where I then schedule meditation for myself. And because
mm,
I worked in the corporate world, I still do today, even though I'm retired, everything is on my calendar.
mm.
And so that way, I would say the first year, I occupied 1 to 10 on my calendar every single day. If it didn't have to do with Gloria, then it wasn't a priority. And I then participated, in addition to that, we have an amazing nonprofit here in Canada called Wellspring. It's national in nature. Um, Unlike HopeSpring, which covers a specific region that I'm a board member of, but Wellspring offered a 7-module healing journey course. And I chose to do that. It is the best gift I gave myself because it allows you to sit with yourself and ask really deep questions. Questions about who am I? How do I view myself in the world? What are some of the losses that I've experienced in life? And some people may think of losses only as when a loved one transitions, but losses can be a beautiful, joyful thing as well. It could be a job promotion because it's a loss in a sense, that you have more responsibility. You may not be able to do some of the things that you did before. It could be something like moving. It, you could move from one home to even a more beautiful home from a physical perspective, but you may end up losing friends and family and that closeness. And so really looking chronologically at all the losses one have experienced really allowed me to heal some of the, if you want to say, emotional um, challenges that I never took the time to heal.
Mm.
And it's not that I deliberately didn't take the time. Maybe I just never knew there was that grief process. So case in point was I was very close to my youngest brother, and I may still get emotional. And I was only 16 when he passed.
Mm. And how old was he?
He was 4 years older than me, so 20.
Okay. Hmm.
And we were the only two left in my family back in Trinidad where I
Mm.
was born. And so nobody in those years in Trinidad even recognized grief or loss. I don't even think my classmates knew that I lost my brother because I was in high school. I was ready to do grade 12
Hmm.
exams. And he was a big part of my life because I was following sciences, and he taught me things like physics and math and chemistry. And so it was challenging, but I never knew it. So
Yeah.
sometimes our healing journey can go back decades
Mm.
as we look at healing. It doesn't have to be something that just occurred.
Yes. So you realized there was some unresolved trauma that you had faced with your older brother's death at that time. And that was maybe blocking some energy inside of you and contributing to whatever was going on.
I would say that was one of them, but I
Yeah.
also lost my mom at a very young age at 24. And so
Hmm.
that also came up as one of the healing things that I needed to look at. And so
Mm.
when you look at what is invasive lobular carcinoma, it's cancer of the lobes, right?
Mm.
So and again, there's that emotional, mental, spiritual component to it because it's the milk ducts. And yeah, I was, losing my
Mm.
mom at such a young age. Uh,
Yes, that's
and
profound.
so exactly. And in addition to that, it was also on the left side. And so the left side is your heart space, right? So where was I grieving that loss in my heart, and have I really grieved it? Um, so those are just some of the things that came up during that 7 module healing journey program
Mhm.
that looked at everything from, who am I? Am I connected? Do I feel the world is abundant? Am I, doing the things that I feel drawn to do? How do I use my gifts or even uncover what my gifts are? And
Mm.
am I comfortable sharing them? And,
Yes.
and I think that is one of the most precious things that I would suggest to all human beings on earth, no matter where you are. Just connect with your heart space
Mm.
and ask yourself, what is my gift? What did I come to earth with? And how am I using that gift? First off, I believe for my own healing, but then there's always, always, always the opportunity to be in service to others.
Yes, that's beautiful. And we do have a comment, an opinion. Actually, Chantel says West Indians seem to sweep death and illness under the rug. It is generational. And I would say that in my opinion, a lot of people will do that because it's too painful to face those emotions. So, yeah. But thank you for sharing, Chantal. And what inspired you to create the video series Discover the Energies Within that is
So
on
that
Stream
is another
Plus?
interesting story.
Okay.
So, in addition, while I was working, I think from 2006 to about 2012, so 2006 to 2012, I ran a group of like-minded women. We gathered twice a month, normally aligned with either the new moon or the full moon. We would just gather at one of the members' homes and we would do a meditation just to connect and ground ourselves and center ourselves. And then we would do a check-in, talk about what's going on with us. And it's so interesting that even though we were from all different walks of life and culture and religion and age groups, the synchronicity of what we brought to the table at any of our gatherings was just, uh, there's no other word. I felt in awe to witness and experience those synchronicities. So one of the things I did was every single week every couple weeks, bi-weekly that we met, I would send out the notes via email. And then I moved from where I was living and I thought, I already have all these notes. So one day in my meditation, it was like I should put these notes together as an ebook and send it off to all the phenomenal women who really co-created that ebook with me because it's their energy, their experiences, they're connecting with their beautiful souls and spirits to bring that to fruition. So I did that. I shared it with them, and then it just sat there. And then I think it was just 2023, the fall of 2023, something said to me, I think this book has a bigger purpose. And so then I shared it with Laura and William, who were the co-founders of survivingbreastcancer.org. And because I was already doing meditation on a weekly basis, um, they listened, they heard, they checked in with their higher selves and produced this amazing gift to humanity, which was taking each one of the chapters and putting together a video of the content of the
Oh,
chapter.
incredible. I love it. Well, I'd love to play a clip from your course on Stream Plus. Can we play that first clip on energy?
Discover the Energies Within, Volume 1, an ebook by Gloria Shoon with illustration by my dear friend Janie Gatlin. Page 2. What is energy? Energy is in everything and everyone, animate or inanimate. It could neither be created nor produced. It could only be transformed. As individuals, we can see our energetic bodies through our auras. Our auras are made up of 4 main energetic or light fields: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. This individual light body is called our Merkaba. Mer meaning light, Ka spirit, and Ba body. So our Merkaba is our light spirit body. Our individual Merkaba is viewed as a star tetrahedron and encompasses our energy fields and connects our energy bodies to the skies and the earth. This star tetrahedron is made up of two triangles or pyramids that intersect. The lower pyramid or triangle of the star tetrahedron starts just under the heart, and its tip extends to 2.4 feet below our physical feet in the earth. This triangle also holds our lower frequency vibration, or the energy from our lower chakras. Our chakras 1, 2, and 3, or main energy points in our bodies. The higher pyramid or triangle of the star tetrahedron starts just under our knees, and its tip extends to 2.4 feet above our head into the skies. This holds our vibration energies from all our chakras 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and beyond. Take a good look at the picture of the star tetrahedron.
Wow, that was incredible. I loved the visuals, and your definition of energy is so specific. Was this a download for you? How did you come up with this definition?
I would say it was a download. So one of the things I pursued was like a 1-year spiritual diploma healing course. This was most probably back in 2007, and it was run on weekends. And one of the objectives of that program is, in fact, to write a thesis. And my thesis was on what is energy.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
And so that's exactly the quote from my thesis.
Wow, that is fascinating. I love that. And it really draws you in, the animation, and it helps me understand what you're talking about because it's so specific, and there's the sacred geometry and the Merkaba, and then when you see it, you really understand it. It's beautiful.
It
What a
is.
wonderful
And
partnership. Yeah, it was.
it is truly a beautiful partnership, and the videos were all created by Elisa Herrera, who is the Director Operations at survivingbreastcancer.org. And Elisa really has a gift in video creation. And she was so excited because she would read the book, listen to my voice, and the creation of the imagery that she chose. it- It's it's another download, I would say, because it's her using her gifts to bring something that spent 12 years hidden to the wider audience of humanity globally.
Yes, that sounds about right. And what about higher beings? Did they play a role in your own healing journey?
I would say absolutely. And, first off, maybe I'll take a moment to define what I would consider higher beings to be.
That would
So,
be great.
yeah, so first off, I would say, my higher self is a higher being, because I believe we are created in the God consciousness that resides within us. So that couple ounces or grams or whatever it is when someone transition that leaves the body, that's the God consciousness. So once we are breathing, we are actually connecting with that God consciousness within. And the way I view it is that all practices, and this is the beautiful thing about being born in Trinidad, which was so cosmopolitan, And culturally, the mix was just phenomenal, so that we were exposed to all religions and celebrated everything, whether it
Oh, how
was
fun.
exactly, whether it was Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, um, uh, the African religion, because a number of uh, people who were brought from Africa to Trinidad as well. And so this cultural mix of all these religions gave me the opportunity to explore all of them. And I would say now that I could sit back and look at it, those seeds that were planted have allowed me to come to the understanding, the belief of two things. One is they all have the basic teaching of unconditional love and compassion. And so when I think of any higher being, whether that is from Christianity with the angelic realm, or whether it's from Hinduism or the various Hindu gods, or Islam with the prophet, or Judaism, it really doesn't matter. I think it's always back to that lowest common denominator of love and kindness and compassion. So if we can get to that pure state of unconditional love and compassion, first for ourselves, because you can't offer someone something you yourself don't embrace and feel totally filled with. And so to me, that is what higher beings in my world represent.
Mm. And what do you recommend when connecting with these higher beings? Do you have a process?
I would say really three things. One is silence, going with it. And it doesn't have to be any specific sit-in position or anywhere. It could be anywhere, anytime. And just connect with the breath, because the breath is the life force. And so no matter where you are, and no matter what you're experiencing in that point in time, if you just take a deep breath and breathe in and just feel yourself being centered, feel yourself being grounded through your feet to Mother Earth, and establish a closed loop process of Father Sky and Mother Earth together with yourself, you in that space. It's not a long-winded, any specific things. It's really something that we do automatically, but wanting to be consciously aware of the breath.
Mm. So when you were going through your diagnosis and healing journey, was it helpful to connect with higher beings?
Absolutely. Meditation was a big part of my healing journey. Just especially from the acknowledgement, acceptance, action, because I believe you can ask questions when you go into meditation. And our voices are unique, which is why there's voice recognition software, right?
Mhm.
So the universe, the multiverse actually hears us when we speak, because we have a direct vibration to that God consciousness. And,
Mm.
and so being able to ask a question. So for instance, for me, the moment I got diagnosed, I registered with Wellspring and asked for, because I had done Reiki many years ago and was a Reiki master, um, I asked for Reiki, and I also asked for therapeutic touch because I had just the year before spent 4 days with my dad at the hospice where he was in the process of transitioning. So
Mm.
my dad taught me conscious dying. And in that process, I had asked for any volunteer who was able to bring peace and calm to both our energetic fields. And that's when I was introduced to therapeutic touch. And the individual who was volunteering at the point and came to do therapeutic touch for both my dad and myself um, must have recognized something because she taught me the hand to heart connection. And that is actually taught in therapeutic touch, like in the third module.
Mm.
And so it was very interesting when I asked for both Reiki and therapeutic touch. And today I call my therapeutic touch volunteer from Wellspring, I call her my Earth Angel. She's a very dear friend because 2020 was COVID. You
Right.
couldn't meet anyone in person. And even though it's called therapeutic touch, it has no real touch per se.
Oh, is it Reiki then?
Well, it's just like Reiki,
Oh, okay.
but it's taught in some nursing schools. Some
Oh,
doctors actually learn therapeutic touch. It's an international organization with well-defined research,
okay.
and there are chapters globally. Most therapeutic touch practitioners are nurses.
Okay. And maybe therapists, like occupational or physical therapists.
Yes, well, many different fields.
Yeah, in the health
And
fields. Yeah,
but that's the origin of therapeutic touch.
I
And
see.
and so it was so interesting that for me in that moment, it was just a beautiful match of the volunteer who was doing therapeutic touch with me, for me, um, compared to Reiki. And so it was a tool fast forward that I then went ahead and got certified in and then volunteered. So up until January of this year, I was volunteering with our local hospice with therapeutic touch. And I've
Mm.
done therapeutic touch as well for HopeSpring Cancer Support Centre, their members and main support person or persons. And uh, what I would say about therapeutic touch, it is energy healing modality that is directly connected with your spiritual field, is how I would term it. It's like imagine when you first get up and your bed sheets are all ruffled. And what therapeutic touch aims to do is just unruffle the energetic fields physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually.
Interesting. And how did higher beings come into this? Because she's like an earth angel. Is that what the
That's just
connection?
that's just my term,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Oh,
Because
well,
yes,
wonderful.
because in order for someone to do therapeutic touch remotely and to do it effectively, they have to connect with their higher self and their God consciousness and whoever is their um,
Yes.
guardian angels or spirit guides or whatever they work with is all fine. It's coming from a place of divine love. So loving kindness, care, compassion, it's really connecting with a pure portion of your heart space.
Oh, that's beautiful. See, now I'm making the connection that therapeutic touch can be done remotely as a remote energy healing. So
Absolutely. And
that's
and I want
incredible.
to add to that, and it's
Yes.
great that you share that because my earth angel, as I call her, um, she was doing therapeutic touch with me before each and every main test prior to surgery, which, lobular breast cancer
Oh,
is
thank
one of,
you.
yeah, it's one of those that is very sneaky. It could enter your organs, your bones, those things. So I had to have, radioactive, if you
Hmm.
want to call it, imagery of all the bones, your
Hmm.
MRI, chest, abdomen, pelvis,
Hmm.
with contrast, all those things. And she would do therapeutic touch with me, for me, either before or during, or she can do it remotely and park a session there. And I know when I'm ready for it, I can take it and use it.
I love that. I think that is incredible advice for anyone listening going on a healing journey. If you're going to the hospital, getting these tests, that is incredible. I love how you integrated that into your testing.
And and one of the things she suggested that even today I'm still in awe of, because she's a retired nurse. She says, Gloria, it's been proven if you actually do therapeutic touch during your surgery, that you have a much better healing experience. And I must say that I did not need not even a Tylenol post-surgery.
I-
And that is so powerful because it just proves that, energy is real.
Mhm.
And it's a container, it's a sacred space that allows us to put things in that container. And whatever we put in the container is what we would experience. And so her loving, active, compassionate heart was just so huge that she can fill that container for me, and I could draw on it without having to use adjunct treatments like painkillers.
That's incredible. I mean, being a cancer thriver myself, it's just wonderful to hear these techniques applied to your own journey and how it can help so many other people, wherever they're at. Even if they're not in the hospital or have a disease, they can apply these techniques at home. And I wanted to play another clip.
Sure.
So it's about guardian angels. So let's play that next clip.
To your guardian angels from the ebook entitled Discover the Energies Within, Volume 1. It is said that we have two guardian angels that are with us from our very first breath until our very last breath. Our personal guardian angels are specific to us and only to us. They are androgynous, neither male or female, and they are non-denominational. They are not related to any religion. They are always available to you and will always protect you in an emergency, even without you asking. They love to be called upon, and when we do, we are more aware of their presence and their guidance. It is a very simple process to connect with them by name. Use your voice. Say out loud after meditation that you would like to know your guardian angels by name. Write the first two names that come to mind. Practice every day for a minimum of 21 days, calling their names out loud, and write the following observations. Everything
that you may hear, see, feel, think in your journal over this time period? How does the frequency vibration of their names resonate with you? Write the thoughts that you have when you speak their names. What colors come to mind when you speak their names? Do you feel masculine or feminine energy when you speak their names? Look back over the 21 days and reread your thoughts and observations and compare them. Make note of any changes that you hear, see, feel.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Again, I love the imagery for that. It felt
That's
very,
all Elisa, the imagery. I
yes,
totally,
that's
literally,
Lisa.
she's so in touch with her gifts.
Right. It's so soothing, the music and the flow and also the content. So, how did you come up with this process of connecting with our guardian angels?
Literally practice. And so it was interesting. I remember the first time I heard Dr. Doreen Virtue's voice,
Mm,
and this would have been maybe 2006, 2007. I can't remember.
hmm.
But anyway, it was on Oprah Winfrey radio station. And the voice, I just, something connected me with her,
Yeah, the frequency of her
the
voice.
frequency of her voice. And I just said to myself in that moment, I feel drawn to do that angel therapy practitioner course with Dr. Doreen Virtue. And this is another story about when something is meant to happen, it will. So I remember booking my vacation. There were no spots available for the program. And then, uh, maybe 30 days before, a couple spots open, and one of them were for me. So I registered. It was in Laguna Beach. And Doreen at that point in time was very much um, teaching how to connect with your guardian angels, your spirit guides. And so from that teaching, just practicing her teachings at that point in time allowed me to come up with my own practice because I believe that everything that we are exposed to, it may not work exactly as defined by the individual teaching it. We have a big role to make it our own.
Mm,
And so, hence the reason, and of course, because I spent so much time in the corporate world and learning things like presentation skills and practicing and learning technology and being able to talk about them, it takes time to develop those skills. So it's no different than taking those same teachings and bringing it to a total different aspect of my life, which was, yes, I believe I do have two guardian angels
hmm.
that came to earth with me, and they will be with me for all of my lifetime in this lifetime to the very last breath. And it's just what is the frequency? And as you sit in the silence and meditate and ask the question and record it, and then rereading it, I mean, we say 21 days, it's no different than any habit that you're trying to change. To make it simpler, I say to people, just do it for a month. So you don't have to
Yeah, 30
remember when
days.
you started, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Right.
Just do it for a month. And it's just amazing because you sense, you hear, you see, you feel, And I think what's even more important, what I've learned now, is that not only practicing all those senses through the physical sense, but through the heart space. So if I listen with my heart, if I choose to see with my heart, to hear with my heart, it takes me into a direct God consciousness connection just by holding that intention. And it's so much more powerful in terms of the results.
Mm. Well, that's fascinating. Well, I'd love to play another clip that's related to connecting with higher beings. And this is Ascended Masters. I love connecting to Ascended Masters. And I actually connected with the Ascended Masters before angels. And now I'm learning to connect to angels. So yes, can we play that next clip?
Discover the Energies Within, Volume 1, How to Connect to the Ascended Masters. It is said that the Ascended Masters are humans who have lived on earth showing unconditional love and compassion to all. Some examples of Ascended Masters are Jesus Christ, Mother Mary, Buddha, Lakshmi, Krishna, Isis, to name a few. While on earth, they would have embodied a male or female physical body, but they lived a balanced life where both masculine and feminine, or left and right sides of their brains were balanced. These Ascended Masters are available to all of us as teachers as we read about their lives and determine how we choose to follow their teachings. Like the archangels, the Ascended Masters are non-religious, and they can be everywhere with everyone at the same time. The Ascended Masters love to be called upon by name, and when we do, we are more aware of their presence and their guidance. In addition, I highly recommend that you find a historical source of their life on earth and read about him or her. Choose an Ascended Master as a teacher. It is a very simple process to connect with them by name. Use your voice. Say out loud after meditation that you would like to connect to a specific Ascended Master. Since they love to be called by name, it is an excellent practice to call upon them by name every 12 hours. Upon awakening, as we work on creating our day, and prior to going to bed, as we give thanks for our day before a good night's rest, are recommended times to call upon your chosen Ascended Master Teacher. Practice every day for a minimum of 21 days, calling their name out loud, and write the following observations in your journal over this time period. How does the frequency vibration of their name resonate with you? Write the thoughts that you have when you speak their name. What colors come to mind when you speak their name? Look back over the 21 days and reread your thoughts and observations and compare them. Make note of any changes that you hear, see, feel, and think.
Well, that was interesting. Yes, very similar to connecting with the guardian angels. And it was interesting because I didn't realize that Isis was an ascended master.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's
Yes.
fascinating.
So if you look historically at all parts of the world, there were ascended masters from every single corner of Earth.
Mm.
So the same way you have Buddha, you have Krishna, Lakshmi, you have Isis, you have Lady. I'm trying to remember the Chinese
Kuan
ascended
Yin.
ones. Kuan
Kuan
Yin.
Yin. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kuan Yin. Mm-hmm.
So and the beautiful thing is with ascended masters, they neither, yes, they may have occupied on earth a masculine or feminine body, but the whole goal and objective for all of us is to really have a balanced left and right hemisphere brain,
Mm.
right? So that we not just working from the logical brain. We're not just doing left brain activities, we're also doing right brain activities. And so if we can bring both hemispheres to anything that we're doing, any question that we have, and it's just amazing. They want to help. And it's for us to be able to trust the answer that we're given when we ask the question.
Mm.
And don't judge it, trust it, and execute on it. And so it's really one individual learning about themselves on a deeper and deeper level is what this book is all about. It's being able to use your voice, going into the silence, journaling, your writing skills before bedtime, how to get a beautiful rest, and the question you pose before you go to bed. Uh, Absolutely. The first thing that comes to mind when you wake up, write it down so you don't forget. And that, I guarantee you, is an answer to the question that you asked before you went to bed.
Mm. That's wonderful advice. Well, how can connecting with our inner energy support healing, especially during or after a cancer diagnosis?
In many, many different ways. So healing is a process. So that's the first thing. Second is healing is not just physical healing. It doesn't mean that I'm cured, right? Healing means that I am feeling good about where I am in the process of becoming my best self, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And so some of these practices actually allow us to get to the ultimate healing, which is not being afraid of death and dying.
Mm. That's profound.
Right? Because I think in our society, very few people, um, you know, like I said earlier, my dad taught me conscious dying.
Mm.
And having the privilege to be his death doula, to spend 24 hours a day, 4 days with him in hospice, really allowed me to not be afraid on a total different level.
Mm.
And in that process, the synchronicity of every single thing, from the color of his shirts that the nurses chose to put on him, to the process of how the body literally shuts down, to the last breath, to the words, the last word. And, I literally played, my dad was quite unique from the perspective that he practiced Hinduism, because that's originally his parents came from India.
Mhm.
To Trinidad and Tobago, but they came as indentured laborers. So not as though he knew his family in India or anything, but some of that culture was automatically passed on through storytelling, through oral practices. So in that process, he embraced his religion, but he also, I practiced Catholicism for a number of years, and for the years that he lived with me, he never missed looking at midday mass.
Oh.
So the same way he would have in his little pocket, he had a little pocket of his, if you want to say, ascended masters like Jesus.
Mm.
He would have his Krishna, his Buddha, right? All of them,
Wow.
Lakshmi. Um,
Amazing.
yes, so it's all of that that has allowed me to come to the realization that here we are. If we can all just spend more time with ourselves, going into our heart space, connecting, taking care of ourselves, being compassionate with ourselves, loving ourselves. Because I think those are the three things: self-care, self-love, self-compassion. So we can offer it to another human being wherever and however we interact with people that we know and people that we don't know.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
From the grocery store to wherever we are.
Well,
It makes a difference.
yes, that's wonderful. And so beautiful that you could be the death doula for your dad. I was also that for my dad, and it
Oh,
was so special to
it
me
is.
and an honor. And we do have a comment. I learned that when I let go of the fear of physical death, magic happened. Magic began. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes, I call it magic and miracles. We co-create with the multiverse, magic and miracles, when we have no fear of that so-called end, because it's really not the end. Because we
Mm,
just energy, and our energy cannot be produced or created. It could only be transformed.
yes.
So our spirit is transformed to another dimension where we continue to do whatever we are being guided to, depending on what we have completed in this lifetime with our gifts.
Mm. Well, I would like to play a final clip, Module 9, a meditation on the Brotherhood of Light work. Can we play that last clip?
Meditation, the Brotherhood of Light from Discover the Energies Within, Volume 1. The Brotherhood of Light work with a natural cleansing process embedded within your body. It is how the body clears itself through the meridians of your nervous system. Once your meridian system is clear and flowing, you will be able to hold higher and higher levels of incoming energy. This process can be experienced in many different ways. It could be a meditation, your personal connection to spirit, a way to improve your health, or an exercise that helps you to enhance your life. Most of all, it is a clearing exercise that helps you lighten or brighten yourself at all levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. This is a natural process that occurs while you sleep. Your nervous system can release daily stress and strain to replenish you with new energy for the day. It is important to get a good night's sleep in order for this process to function. Here are the steps to follow. Call in the Brotherhood of Light with this simple four-part invocation. Invite the divine masculine, feminine, or whatever you believe the universe to be to join you. Ask the ascended masters, guides, and angels, whichever ones you favor, to join you as well. Then ask for the Brotherhood of Light to be with you. Finally, call on your own higher self, that huge and glorious part of you to guide and lead your whole healing session. You must open each session with this four-part invocation due to the requirements of your free will. They need your permission to do this work together. The vibration of your voice is an important part of asking for help. So say this meditation aloud to have the greatest benefit and set your intention.
Well, that was a beautiful way to end. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Discover the Energies Within, a lesson in healing with Gloria Shoon. So join Stream Plus now and gain immediate access to this program, as well as hundreds of incredible spiritual teachers. We are proud to say that HumanityStream Plus is the largest global streaming platform for consciousness-raising masterclasses and transformational education. I wanted to thank Steve Farrell, Dee Meyer, and the production team, Jim Gray, Garth Catterall, Andy Gutsky, Karen Weiser, Nanette Kennedy, and the rest of Humanity's team. Thank you so much, Gloria, for your wisdom and sharing your light today.
It's truly my pleasure and privilege, and I'm truly honored to be part of this. So thank you to each and everyone who contributed to make this happen. Just lots of love from my heart to all hearts. Thank you.